I'm just looking at all the topics we want to discuss with you, and we're calling it stalled stimulus talks. Is that where we are? And what is your are you cautiously optimistic or just pessimistic?
Joe, well, maybe I'm always cautiously optimistic when it comes to Congress's work. I wish this virus relief package wasn't stalled. The Senate had a majority for a bill last month that would have been a good bill. You know, back in March and April, we passed the CARES Act, which is a very broad-based bill because we didn't know much about the virus, its health impact, its economic impact. We know a lot more now. Legislation should be a lot more tailored and specifically targeted to those people in need. You know, waitresses and busboys, people who teach, you know, kids and teenagers in karate or music, things that require a lot of close personal, high-frequency contacts. We shouldn't just be spending trillions of dollars on things that don't relate to this virus. So, for instance, Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats want to give a no-strings-attached bailout to cities and states that have long-standing fiscal problems. We've got no problem providing money to cities and states to help address their virus-related costs, but not their long-standing fiscal problems. They also want to send checks out to illegal aliens. We don't think that we should do that. That's not related to this virus. So negotiations are ongoing. I don't know when they're going to wrap up. I wish they would have wrapped up last month. I've been advocating for new legislation going back to the summer, but I'm confident that sooner or later that we will have a new virus relief package.
We've had several Democrats and Republicans on from the Senate this week. We had Marco Rubio yesterday who said he doesn't want to vote for a big bill, one that might get passed by Pelosi and the Trump administration, one that they might agree on. However, he thinks it would be more damaging to not have some sort of stimulus out there. So he would go ahead and vote for it, even if he didn't like it, even if it doesn't have everything or if it has more than he thinks should be in it. Are you in that same camp, or are you sticking with the idea that it's the $500 billion skinny deal that the Senate has proposed, or that's it?
So, Becky, I don't really look at it from the standpoint of what the overall cost of the bill is. I look at the policies that the bill would advance. Of course, we have to have some compromise with the Democrats in the House. You know, take unemployment insurance enhancements for those who are still out of work because their industry or their business faces operations restrictions from state and local government. You know, I would like to see people get unemployment up to but not surpassing their previous wages. The Democrats might not go for that. They might want a flat increase of a few $100s per month over what the state unemployment is. Those are the kind of things that we can have splittable differences on. But what I don't want to see is things that have nothing to do with the virus, like bailing out states like Illinois or cities like Chicago for mismanaging their own finances for decades. We shouldn't let this crisis be an opportunity to advance unrelated policy priorities. So to me, it's not so much about the overall price tag as the bill, about whether the money that we spend is actually going to go to help Americans in need because of the coronavirus.
But Donald Trump has said that if he can agree with a deal on Nancy Pelosi, the Senate would come along. Do you think that's the case?
Well, we will have to see about that, Becky. I know the president wants a relief package as well and has wanted one for many months like I have. But, of course, we've got to review the final details of any proposal before we can make a final assessment of it.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.